You know, we all think we know the parables of Jesus, right? The stories of the sower, the lost coin, they feel familiar. But what if they weren't just simple moral tales? Our source for this explainer makes a pretty bold claim that they're actually a sophisticated system of hidden codes designed to be decoded, not just read. So let's dive in.
And this is the core idea, right here. It suggests these stories we've heard 1,000 times were never meant for just a simple, surface-level reading. No. The idea is that they were designed as encrypted activations, or soul codes, messages meant to completely bypass your logical mind and awaken a much deeper understanding in anyone who is ready to hear them.
So this presents two totally different layers of meaning. You've got the exoteric, the outer meaning, that's kind of the Sunday school version we all know, simple stories with a nice moral lesson. But then there's the esoteric, the hidden meaning, and this is where the source claims the real power lies. It's a language for the initiated, pointing not outwards to some distant god, but inwards to yourself.
Okay, so that's our starting point. This first set of codes completely reframes these stories. According to the source, they aren't about God's relationship with humanity at all. Instead, they're a detailed map of our own inner world, a map of our very own consciousness.
All right, let's take a classic, the parable of the sower. Traditionally, we see it as God's word landing on different kinds of people. But this esoteric code, it flips that script entirely. It internalizes the whole thing. You aren't just one of the types of soil, you are all of them. You're the sower, you're the seed, and you are the entire inner landscape.
And here's the breakdown of what those soils are said to represent inside of us. That rocky ground, that's our conditioned mind, the part that just rejects new truths. The thorns, well, that's the distracted mind, all the worries and anxieties that choke our inner knowing. The footpath is that hardened, unconscious part of us where truth just can't take root. And then finally, you've got the good soil. That's the awakened heart, the part of us that's fertile, ready to receive, and ready to grow.
This idea gets even wilder with the parable of the lost coin. We know the comforting traditional story. God finds us when we're lost. But the source offers this radical alternative. What if we were never lost to begin with? What if we are the woman in the story, and we intentionally hid our own divinity, our own coin, for safekeeping before we even got here?
And what this really means is that the whole spiritual search isn't about finding some separate God out there. According to this view, it's about remembering where you put your own inner treasure. You're just sweeping the house of your own mind to find what was there all along.
So once you realize this treasure actually exists within you, the next set of parables, according to the source, is all about the radical commitment it takes to reclaim it fully. This is the moment of choice.
You know, in the parable of the hidden treasure, that line about selling everything, it's not about your house or your bank account. The code suggests it's about letting go of your limiting beliefs, your personal stories, your entire false identity, everything you think you are, in order to buy the field where your true, divine self lies buried. Now, the pearl of great price is a little different, and it's a subtle but really important distinction. The treasure was kind of stumbled upon, but the pearl is actively sought out by a merchant who knows exactly what he's looking for. The source claims this parable encodes the ultimate realization. The moment the seeker, the merchant, understands that they are the pearl, the finder becomes the found. This quote from the source just nails that identity shift perfectly. It's the end of the search not because you've found something valuable, but because you realize you are the value you were looking for the whole time.
But what happens after this huge discovery? It's not the end of the journey, not by a long shot. The next parables, in this view, are about the messy but absolutely necessary work of integrating this new reality into your whole being.
This interpretation of the wheat and tares is fascinating. It's not about good people versus bad people out in the world. Nope, it's an internal story. The wheat is your authentic divine nature, and the tares, or the weeds, that's your false identity, your ego, your shadows. And here's the kicker, they are meant to grow together.
And that means you don't try to rip out the weeds. The source claims they aren't a mistake. They're actually your chosen teachers. Your wounds, your fears, your limiting beliefs, they provide the contrast that actually helps you see your own inner light. They're part of the process, not an obstacle to it.
And once you start that integration, the parable of the lamp takes on a whole new meaning. The lamp isn't just your belief system. It is you. It's your fully expressed divine nature.
The warning isn't just to share your faith, but to stop hiding your authentic self under a bushel of fear or unworthiness or false humility.
So this brings up a really direct question for all of us. What are the stories you tell yourself? I'm not ready, or I'm not good enough, or what will people think? According to the source, these are the bushels that keep your unique light hidden from a world that really needs it.
Now, this final parable, according to our source, isn't some story about the past. It's a direct message, a warning and a promise for the turbulent times we are living in right now.
The two builders here represent two ways of constructing your identity. Building on sand, that means your sense of self relies on things outside of you, your job, your reputation, what other people think of you. But building on rock means your identity is founded on something unshakable, your inner knowing, your direct connection to your true self.
But the most powerful part is this interpretation of the storms. The source says they aren't some future punishment. They are our present reality. This great shaking of our world, our systems, our lives, it's all framed as a force of liberation, designed to test our foundations and reveal what's truly real.
And this is the ultimate reframe. The chaos, the uncertainty, it's not meant to break you down. It's here to show you what part of you is unbreakable. It's here to reveal whether you've built your house on the shifting sands of the external world or on the solid rock of your own inner truth.
So let's just recap this incredible decoded journey. We started by seeing the parables as a map of our own consciousness, realizing our divinity was never lost, it was just hidden. Reclaiming it means shedding our old identity and learning to see our shadows not as enemies, but as teachers. And ultimately, it's all about expressing our authentic self and building our foundation on the only thing that's truly stable, our own inner knowing.
And that leaves us with one final, pretty big thought. If this interpretation from our source holds any water, if these simple stories are actually complex guides to human consciousness, it just begs the question, what else have we been looking at but not truly seeing? What other messages might be waiting to be decoded, hidden in the most obvious places?